Hello friends, welcome to English with Richly. இந்த வீடியோல English Grammar and Exercises 2 bookல உள்ள Unit 15 Adjectives பற்றி பார்க்கலாம். Adjectives are words which tell us something about nouns. There are different kinds of adjectives as you will see from the following sentences. First sentence, Tom is a tall boy. He has blue eyes and fair hair. He lives in a little village. Adjectives nouns describe பண்ணுது. The first sentence பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் Tom is a tall boy. இதில் உள்ள tall adjective boy describe பண்ணுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்க உயரமான பையன் tall boy. He has blue eyes. Eyes என்ற noun describe பண்ணுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற adjective blue. Fair hair. Hair என்ற noun describe பண்ணுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற adjective fair. அதுபோல் little village. Village என்ற noun describe பண்ணுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற adjective little. In these sentences, the adjectives tall, blue, fair and little describe the noun boy, eyes, hair and village. There aren't many pupils in the class. There are only 15 boys and no girls. There are some pictures on the wall, but there aren't any maps. In these sentences, the adjectives many, 15, no, some and any tell us something about the number of pupils, boys, girls, pictures and maps. இதில் இருக்கிற adjectives எத்தனை பேர் என்றதை குறிக்கிறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணப்பட்டிருக்குது. All the nouns following these adjectives are plural. The woman hasn't got much money. She doesn't eat much food. She hasn't got any meat. She has got some bread. In these sentences, the adjectives much, any, some and no tell us about the quantity of money, food, meat, bread and butter. These nouns are all uncountable. Food, meat, bread, butter, money. இவ்வளவும் uncountable nouns. இதுக்காக நாங்கள் எத்தனை குவான்டிட்டி என்று காட்டுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணுற adjective much, any, some, no. This pencil is mine, but that one is yours. These books are mine also, those books are yours. This, that, these and those can be called pointing adjectives because they point to a noun or nouns. We often point when we use them. இதில் பார்த்தோம்னா pointing adjectives this, that, those, these. இந்த adjectives nouns-ஐ point பண்ணி காட்டுறதுக்காக யூஸ் பண்ணப்படுது. Read the following adjectives and nouns and then put suitable adjectives and nouns together. The first three are done for you. Do the others in exactly the same way. Long, called, beautiful, brave, white, 10, difficult, red, high. Chalk, mountains, question, journey, ink, flowers, soldier, water, finger. Long journey, a long journey. Called, water, cold water. Beautiful, flower, beautiful flowers. Brave soldier, brave soldier. White chalk, white chalk. 10 fingers, 10 fingers. Difficult question, difficult question. Red ink, red ink. High mountains, high mountains. Big city, big city. Brown hair, brown hair. Clever students, clever students. Fast train, fast train. Wild animals, wild animals. Hot day, hot day. In book 1, we learned that comparative and superlative adjectives are made by adding er and est. For example, rich, er add பண்ணி richer, est add பண்ணி richest. Adjective rich, comparative adjective richer, superlative adjective richest. Called, comparative adjective er add பண்ணி colder, superlative adjectiveக்கு est add பண்ணி coldest, cold, colder, coldest. This is the regular way of making comparative and superlative adjectives, but there are also a few irregular ways. For example, good, better, best. Good adjective, better comparative adjective, best superlative adjective. Bad, worse, worst. Bad adjective, worse comparative adjective, worst superlative adjectives. We must now learn the comparative and superlative forms of two adjectives which were used in the sentences at the beginning of the lesson. Adjective much, comparative adjective more, superlative adjective most. Many, more, most. Read the following sentences which will show you the way to use the adjectives much and many. There isn't much water in the river in the summer. Jack's father didn't learn much French at school. Does Jack know much French? Is there much oil in the bottle? There aren't many pictures in this book. The old woman hasn't got many teeth. Were there many people in the cinema last night? Do you learn many subjects at school? We learn from these sentences the adjective much is always used with a singular noun. It is used with uncountable noun. இந்த சென்டென்ஸில் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் much எப்பயுமே uncountable nouns and singular nounsோட யூஸ் பண்ணப்படுது. The adjectives many is always used with a plural noun. அதுபோல் many என்ற adjective plural nounsோட யூஸ் பண்ணப்படுது. The adjectives much and many are very often used in negative sentence and question. இந்த adjectives ஆன much and many question sentence and negative sentence ஓட யூஸ் பண்ணப்படுது. Put much or many in the spaces. Notice that all the sentences are questions or negatives. Have you got dash friends? Friends plural noun. Have you got many friends? There wasn't dash rain last month. Rain uncountable noun. There wasn't much rain last month. Did you spend dash money yesterday? Did you spend much money yesterday? Does the teacher speak dash languages? Does the teacher speak many languages? I didn't put dash sugar in my tea. I didn't put much sugar in my tea. Did the doctor ask you dash question? Did the doctor ask you many questions? A poor woman can't buy dash dresses. A poor woman can't buy many dresses. That old man hasn't got dash hair. That old man hasn't got much hair. Did you drink dash milk? Did you drink much milk? There aren't dash pupils in the playground. There aren't many pupils in the playground. Is there dash chalk in the chalk box? Is there many chalk in the chalk box? Jack didn't do dash homework last night. Jack didn't do much homework last night. I can't see dash birds on the tree. I can't see many birds on the tree. There isn't dash ink in this bottle. There isn't much ink in this bottle. The woman didn't buy dash eggs. The woman didn't buy many eggs. Did you learn dash English words last year? Did you learn many English words last year? Read and understand these sentences in which the comparative and superlative adjectives more and most are used. Jack has more money in his pocket than Tom. Comparative sentence. இங்கே யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற comparative adjective more. Most boys like to play football. superlative sentence இங்க யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற superlative adjectives most. Mary has more dresses than her sister. Comparative adjective மேரி அவட சிஸ்டரோட கம்பேர் பண்ணப்படுறா. இங்க யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கிற comparative adjective more. The first baby has more hair than the second baby, but the third baby has the most hair. ஃபர்ஸ்ட் சென்டென்ஸை பார்த்தோம்னா ஃபர்ஸ்ட் பேபியை செகண்ட் பேபியோட கம்பேர் பண்ணப்பட்டிருக்கு. மோ என்ற கம்பேரிட்டிவ் அட்ஜெக்டிவை யூஸ் பண்ணி செகண்ட் சென்டென்ஸில் மோஸ்ட் என்ற சூப்பர்லேட்டிவ் அட்ஜெக்டிவ் யூஸ் பண்ணி அந்த பேபி டிஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணப்பட்டிருக்கு. மோஸ்ட் பீப்புள் வாண்ட் டு பி ரிச். சூப்பர்லேட்டிவ் அட்ஜெக்டிவ் மோஸ்ட். There is more oil in Kuwait than in Egypt. We can now learn another way of making comparative and superlative adjectives. It is impossible to give a rule, but when the adjective is a long word, we often use more and most to make these two forms. Here are some examples. Beautiful, more beautiful, most beautiful. Dangerous, more dangerous, most dangerous. Difficult, more difficult, most difficult. Careful, more careful, most careful. Careless, more careless, most careless. Useful, more useful, most useful. Read the sentences. There are 3 women in the room. The first woman is more beautiful than the second woman. The third woman is the most beautiful. Now make 2 sentences in the same way about each of the following sentences. Use the comparative and superlative forms of the adjectives in bracket. There are 3 questions on the blackboard. The first question is more difficult than the second question. The third question is the most difficult. There are 3 pupils in the room. The first pupil is more careful than the second pupil. The third pupil is the most careful. There are 3 books on the shelf. The first book is more useful than the second book. The third book is the most useful. There are 3 roads across the mountain. The first road is more dangerous than the second road. The third road is the most dangerous. There are 3 dictations in Jack's exercise book. The first dictation is more careless than the second dictation. The third dictation is the most careless. In many cases, superlative adjectives have the in front of them, but often they are preceded by possessive adjectives or the possessive form of nouns. For example, I met my best friend yesterday. Mary's worst subject at school is arithmetic. Tom's younger brother doesn't go to school. The English teacher's most useful book is a dictionary. The doctor's eldest son is going to be a doctor. Use the superlative adjectives eldest when speaking of relations, but the oldest when speaking of other persons or of things. My older friend, the oldest teacher in the school, Mary's oldest dress, the oldest house in the village. Thank you.